All right. So, as everybody knows, we're going to be doing a short film. So, we got to go out and do some scout locating at one of our local towns. So, it's kind of shaky cam. But these are just some shots of the area right now. What we're thinking about doing some shooting for the short film. It's a pretty big area, and it's actually really nice. The only problem is it does the side that we're on right now gets a lot of people and tourists. So yeah, but it's a beautiful area, and the terrain is a little uneven. So yeah, I don't like I said, this is all handheld. I don't use a gimbal. I should get a steady cam. So this right here was potentially across the river where we possibly can shoot the scene. And I was thinking we could get a view from where we're at right now for the short film. And we're going to wind up going down over there. But yeah, this was one potential spot. The problem is, this is kind of like in the area of it. There's a lot of, it's called, God, what's it called? Frisbee golf. I don't know if you ever heard of it. You throw a frisbee into a cage, and it's like playing golf, and you go around and try and hit each one, get points for it. So it's a weird game. I've never played it. Yeah, this is almost like watching Blair Witch type shit right here. Like I said, the ground was very uneven around here. Hopefully I can fix this a little bit more. But, I mean, it's a very wooded area. We're just glad there was no snow. Normally there's snow at this time there. And there is none, which just shows what our winter has been like here. Not very good. So, we're just kind of like scouting around, looking for, different areas. I'm also trying to pay attention to the ground so I don't fall at the same time. Because, like I said before, it's kind of uneven. Even though we have a trail we can walk on. But yeah, this is the area where they have a lot of frisbee golf. So we notice there's a lot more people now. I guess people have really gotten into it. So back in the area that we're at is kind of like, not sure if we want to shoot there. I mean, I don't mind if people want to hang out while we do it. It's just, Now, here's a side of the river we're definitely going to use. Because it's actually a really cool rock formation, and not very many people go there. So that's kind of the rock formation right there. So we're just kind of seeing how the angles look. The only thing we'll have to do is be extra careful, because it's got moss on it and whatnot, but it's actually a really cool area that we found, and definitely it's going to work out a lot better than the first location. So, and we actually discovered some really cool things in this area. I'm just trying to see how footwork would work up there, and the only thing we have to be careful of is their drop off just behind me. So if we go too far, we're not paying attention, you're going to fall off. And as you can see, there's a river right there. So, yeah, and it's not a deep river, but you're going to get hurt. There's a bunch of rocks in it. And that river flows year round. So, yeah. We definitely have to be careful filming here. But I think it's going to work. And it'll work out really, really well for one of the scenes when we go to shoot. So we had discovered this when we were on the opposite side of the river. So we literally had to walk all the way back around the lake, because it's a big giant lake, to get to that side of the river. So yeah, and like I said, I'm just checking it out. My wife's operating the camera to see how the angles look. For sure. That way, and there's the river. You can see it, and it, like I said, it flows like that year round. So you're not going to get swept away from it, but if you fall, you're going to get hurt for sure. But yeah, there's the ledge right there. We have to be careful of. My wife. But the cool thing that we found on these, and we didn't know that they were there, was that big rock formation is a grinding rock. If anybody knows what a grinding rock is, the indigenous people, that's how they used to grind up acorns and stuff. In our area, we have the Miwok tribe. And that whole thing up there is just riddled with grindings from them. And here we go. Coming up, you'll see some of them. One was really deep. Like that one. There's one. That one, that will go past my wrist. That's how deep that one is. So, and then there's my wife. She's going to demonstrate. And that's pretty much what they did. And the whole thing has probably like, I want to say 6 or 8 in that rock, which is kind of cool. There's a couple right there. You can see 2 of them. But that's one location we're definitely going to use. Like I said, this is kind of like Blair Witch footage, it almost seems like. I told my wife Blair Witch 26, because these seem to keep making them now. But it's a nice little area around this lake. Actually, it used to have a logging mill there. And the lake is full of logs at the bottom of it. Still left over. This tree coming up, we thought about maybe, hang on, I'm pretty sure I panned to it. Yep, right there. We were thinking about shimmying across that log, and then I thought twice about it. Not with a $2,000 camera and the only, good quality high camera we have, trying to shimmy across it. So it was a hell no. We weren't going to attempt it. So, yeah, we just decided we'll just walk all the way around to get back there. Because this thing kind of has a spillway, so it doesn't flood from the river, from the lake to the river. So, and there's no other way but to go all the way around it. I mean, like I said, you could walk across that river. It's not deep. And it doesn't run super fast. What you see is the fastest it goes. But we have another location coming up. Right about in here. In fact, right there in front of us is the other location we're going to use to film this. That we happen to find. Which is hella cool. That we found this. And there's actually 0 people back here. Which is really, really nice. It really is. But yeah, we're just discussing about how this is going to work out for us. And we're going to have to bring my brother back there because he knows it exists there too. So we can work out how we're going to shoot the scenes through this whole thing. Because things have to change up from my vision of how I want to do it. But that's not a big deal. Everything is like coming together now. really don't know how much is involved in putting together just a short film to shoot it until you actually start getting into it. And now that spring is upon us here, it's good weather. Like I said, this whole area, normally there's a bunch of snow even around this time, and there's no snow. I mean, look how clear that water is. That water is just super clear. But it's just full of rocks. Small rocks, big rocks. So yeah, you just don't want to fall in it. You're going to get hurt. But yeah. Super clear water there. Because most of this water that we get that's actually normally comes from our snowpack that we get from higher elevations. So yeah, that water's like super clear. In fact, there's a huge, on the back side of all this, is kind of a hike to get to it. It's in the same location where we're at. There's a huge waterfall. As far as I know, you can't get to the bottom of it because the way you go to get to the waterfall, you're actually at the top of it. And you do not want to get close to that edge because one slip and you're going over. And it is a very huge waterfall. But yeah, it's a kind of a cool location. Hopefully you all stay for the end of this too, because there's a special thing that we did, or I did, just for the hell of it. It's only a couple seconds long. But I had told my wife I had to do it. I just had to do it. So, yeah. She got a kick out of it. Hopefully all of you do. Now this trail goes up to actually a forest road. You can drive back there. There's roads all back in this whole area. A lot of people go off-roading back here. They have a section just for that. So we're just checking things out. And there's where the water goes through across underneath the road. Because at this point, we're just kind of like exploring around, checking things out. More view of the ground. And here's the other side of that, where the water comes out. And it's got a kind of a neat little swimming hole here. If you're into swimming. I'm sure a lot of the locals know about it, so it probably gets packed in the summertime. Because I would not get into that water right now, because I guarantee it's freezing cold. For sure. More shaky cam. But there you go. There's the culvert from the other. Water coming through from the other side. Like I said, it's a neat little swimming hole. People probably just chill out at in the summertime. But we also noticed the storms that we had really a lot of high winds here. Another shot of the nice clear water we've got in our area. That tree right there blew over this year. And you can tell from where the roots snapped, they're still pretty fresh. We had some crazy high winds going on this year, especially up the hill, and these trees just toppled right over. But yeah. So I decided, screw it, I'll just get some footage of this. And it looked like forestry was starting to clean it up because they piled up all the branches and they're trimming them. Hopefully they get to finish it. But yeah. And this is basically going back out now. It wasn't that far of a walk. It doesn't take long to get to where we're at, thankfully. If I were to take you out where the waterfall is, you better have a good 20, 30 minutes to spare. Because it takes a while to hike out there. It really, really does. But it's actually a really nice walk. This area is probably where we're at. 15 minutes away from Big Trees National Park. I even thought about seeing if we could shoot there, but we're thinking it's not very feasible because it is a big tourist attraction. And the park does need to make money, and in order to shoot there, we'll probably have to rent a location. And we really don't know how much that would cost us. And this area is 100% free. It's a public area, so we can shoot a film all we want here. And they won't say anything. My wife said maybe we should get a drone, do an aerial shot for this. So we might get one. Yeah, because this lake is massive. It's huge. It's not one of the bigger ones, but it's a good size. Like I said, there used to be a logging mill in this area. My wife was pointing out the moss on the tree because it had on the opposite side, I guess, some different colors to it. And then my wife noticed, where is it? It's coming up. It is called bark shrimp. Mushroom bark. That's what it's called. Because we're leaving the second location that we're going to be using. And here we go. These are the trees that have mushroom bark. And the reason why it's called that, because it always grows on a tree. So all that stuff you see sticking out of the tree is actually mushrooms. Wouldn't eat it, but if you collect that mushroom and you open it up to the center of the fine powder, that is the best mushroom that you can light a fire with. In fact, Scandinavians, that's what they used to do. They would collect mushroom bark because it's the best for it. The bigger it is, the mushrooms, the better. And you get that really fine powdery center out, and you literally can stick a match on it and it'll flare up and just burn. So they did actually another process to it where it would be more waterproof for them, but that's what they use. So yeah, if you're in the forest and you don't have jack and shit, but you have a lighter, just find mushroom bark and just put little tinder on it, and it'll give you a fire right now. It's a simple, easy thing. And you can always find that type of mushroom on trees throughout any forest, just about, especially in northern America. But yeah, this is just footage of us going back. We're just enjoying the day now. It was a really nice walk, though, through this whole thing. Definitely enjoyed it. It was a nice day, too. Partly cloudy. It wasn't cold. It was probably about 64 degrees. So that's pretty good. In the shade, though, really shady area, it was colder. Because, yeah, spring is just now starting here. So, yeah, our winter wasn't so good this year. Again, like I said, this whole area would be covered in snow right now. Or patches of snow, and there's none. Which is amazing. But this whole area is just really cool. Because now we're heading back to where all the people are. And there's the river again. We were on, like I said, on the opposite side of that. There's where our first scene, part of our first scene is going to take place, is right there, that rock. So we're already back to that already. Like I said, it doesn't take long in this area to get back. There's a nice trail. Some of it you got to be careful because there are rocks and stuff, and well, you don't want to fall because if you do, you're going to get hurt. But yeah, beautiful area. We just got the idea, especially my wife, hey, let's go scouting today for the short film. It's a good day. We had time to kill. So we're like, yeah, why not? It's definitely a good day. There's another tree that's down. And definitely wouldn't try and walk across that one because there's nothing holding the end up there. So it definitely will fall. It's just like sitting up against that tree right there. And this tree is actually kind of hella cool, the way the roots are growing out all over the ground. I always love seeing that with trees. That's almost like our Sequoia redwoods do that. The really, really huge ones up in big trees. Their roots are just massive. Yeah, right now we're heading back. We're done for the day because it was getting late. And I was gonna shoot up more closer to the dam, but it's too muddy. So, I mean, it's bad enough with the rock. We gotta pay attention to make sure we don't get hurt or step off the edge. But yeah, right down there I was thinking about shooting, but you can see it's kind of marshy. And it just wasn't going to be a good idea. Now this is a train that they brought in for the logging museum that's there. But we're getting close to the end. Hope you all enjoyed this. And yeah, if you made it this far, the special little deal that I did for the end of this is coming up. So be sure to stick around and check it out. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'm sorry for the shaky cam. But now you kind of see what locations we're going to be using for the short film. We just have to rehearse the fight scenes and we'll be able to start shooting. Everybody have a good one. And, well, till next time. You guys take it easy.